All right, today is October 14th, or I guess when you're watching, October 15th of 2016. And as of yesterday, the patch date for patch 7.1 in World of Warcraft Legion was announced. So that is coming out, for everybody that doesn't know, is coming out on October 25th, which is literally in a week and a half until this upcoming content patch comes out. All right, so there's been a lot of controversy right now over whether or not it's too soon to be putting out this patch. Because, again, if you think back to before launch, 7.1 was actually announced and kind of detailed before the game really released. So it was very surprising to a lot of people that a lot of content was already on its way before the game was released and people got to play it. And the thing is, guys, is that I know that there's controversy that, like, hey, wait, I haven't gotten, my prestiges done yet, or I haven't been able to get caught up in raiding yet with PvP, or I haven't been able to clear Emerald Nightmare or do all of my Suramar stuff. But the thing is it's awesome to have too much content. I think that in Warlords of Draenor specifically, the problem really lied in the fact that there wasn't enough to do. There wasn't enough to knock out. There wasn't enough to work towards. And now in Legion, there's really too much. There's a lot to do. And I think that that's a good thing. I think that it's best to have too much to do as opposed to too little to do, because if you have too little to do, then you're bored. But if you have too much to do, then that means you get to pick and choose what you like to do most, and you can eventually get to all the rest of the stuff anyways. So when you look at patch 7.1, you have a lot of stuff coming, and I want to get into a couple things that I really like, just a couple features of 7.1 that I'm really enjoying at the end of the video. But overall, I do think that patch 7.1 coming out so soon, and also the raiding, or the new Karazhan dungeon raid type thing, and then we have the new raid itself with Helya and Odin. I think that is really beneficial. I think that there's more to do. There's more to be offered, and especially with the Suramar questlines, right? I think that there's really a lot to go on after right now, and that's really a good thing. So be sure to try that out. And I think that it also shows a lot of ambition from Blizzard's side. I'm happy that they're coming out with so much content. I think that this is a huge step up from Warlords of Draenor, and I've spoken about that in previous expansions. I mean, there's failures in some parts of the expansion, but regardless, guys, that's just how it works. There's always mistakes. But right now, we're in a place where I think that the game is developing quite nicely. Okay, I feel very connected with how the developers have been developing and changing, and also not changing their game, and standing stern with their design philosophies, which is great. So I'm pretty happy with it as just a player. But regardless, guys, I do want to talk a little bit about my favorite couple things of 7.1. In case you haven't read the patch notes, I would like to at least share with you my important takeaways from them. Now, from PvP, let's talk about that for a little bit. I think that the PvP system had a couple failures, especially in the PvP honor talent section, where if you prestige, like me, I actually prestiged about a month ago, and it was the worst decision of my life, because you lose all of your honor talents, and you have to work your way back through them and unlock them, and that puts you at a huge competitive disadvantage. But in 7.1, that's going away, so you can actually prestige, and it doesn't affect those honor talents anymore. You always have them unlocked after you reach level 50 and prestige. It doesn't take them away anymore, which is great. So I'm very happy about that. I think that is a huge step in the right direction. So thank you, Halinka, praise Halinka, for making that happen. Because that was it was terrible. You couldn't earn all of the awesome cosmetic rewards in PvP because you would be at a huge competitive disadvantage, and that's going away. So bringing on to my next thing, and I think that my next thing is that there's a whole new Suramar questline that's going to be released up until Nighthold being released in January. And why this is so awesome is because in Legion, when you have all of these players doing all of these raids and whatnot, I feel that there's a level from somebody who plays the game a lot. I think that at the end of the week, I kind of run out of things to do, and I think that this will bridge that gap, because this is a quest line in Suramar that's going to be released on a weekly basis, and it's also a lot of content. So you can unlock a lot of really cool things, including an awesome tiger mount at the end, which will be very fun. You can unlock that, and also this is a weekly thing all the way to January. So from now to, from the 25th to January, you're going to have new quests every week that hasn't been done before. And I think that that's very fun, because having that on top of being able to do my arenas, on top of being able to do my raids with my guild, and like also clear out all of my world quests whenever I need to for my emissary stuff, do the mythic pluses, like there's so much to do right now, and I think that this just kind of adds on to that and bridges that like kind of drought that I have at the end of every week where like I can't, you know, there's nothing more that I can do. I've already got my mythic 10 chests, I've already cleared my heroic raid or whatever, working on mythic, but only in certain amounts of time. You know, all my emissaries are done, my PvP is, you know, whatever, and this will give me something extra to do. So overall, pretty happy with that. I think that the Suramar quest line will be very cool. I think that I've had a lot of fun with it so far, and that's why I'm really looking forward to it for seeing like it progress and eventually close whenever Nighthold comes out. So I'm very excited for that. And last but not least, I do want to talk about the class balance changes, because this channel specifically has been I guess catered towards classes for the last few months, and I want to speak to it a little bit. So with these class changes, now I guess like a couple weeks ago, there was a bunch of really drastic changes coming out for, I guess, Shadow Priest and Demon Hunter. And what was really interesting to see is that the community was like demanding that this be changed or whatever, right? And they were about to be. Like, Shadow Priest and Demon Hunters were about to be gutted, basically, from mostly PvP gameplay, PvE gameplay, but also a little bit in PvP. And what's interesting to see is that the developer team at Blizzard actually stood by what they said, and they were like, "Hey, I think that this is too soon to be able to tune this in such a drastic way. We would like to see 7.1 come about, and then we can make our tuning changes accordingly, right?" So now that 7.1 is coming out, you're going to be seeing a lot of balance changes, which you can find in the patch notes on your own by hitting up Google. And I think that the patch notes offer a level of like balance changes and talent changes and stuff that shows, I don't know, I don't see a huge drastic like just gutting classes. I think that they're all pretty fair. Honestly, I don't have a whole lot of problems with them right now, and if I do, I'll be sure to make a video about it. But overall, like I'm pretty happy with the balance changes that are going on. So regardless, guys, be sure to read up on those if you have not already. You can find the patch notes. Pretty much any WoW community site out there has them. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm also going to be giving away 2 of these headsets in case you want them. They are the new HyperX Stinger headsets on my website. It is the first link in the description for you to go check out. Go win a free pair of this Stinger headset, which is the sponsor for the channel right now. And you can also like this video if you did enjoy it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already, so that you can be updated for future videos. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one.